right, so what are the biggest challenges in starting a business? We're gonna talk about that here, and there's a lot more than you would think. And if you know what they are, you know how to navigate into them, through them, around them, whatever the case may be and whatever you wanna call it, but it helps you be in the know so that you're proactive versus reactive, and I talked about this before. So, what is a big challenge? A big challenge is something that you need to overcome that you may not have even expected. And these can be in many different areas, right? Financial pressure is going to be number one. You as the business owner are going to be under a massive amount of financial pressure. The pressure of being the unknown, right? Limited capital, cash flow issues, and personal investment risk. These are things that you need to be aware of. So personal investment risk, you're investing your own money. You're investing your own time. Time is actually more important than money, believe it or not. And those experienced business owners that have been years ahead and have done this for a while, you will realize who they are. Because if you put a new business owner and an experienced business owner in the room, it's funny because the new business owner is very concerned about money up front, but the experienced business owner has already realized that money comes and goes. There's an abundance of money. It's the time that matters most. I get pulled over for a speeding ticket. I'm vitally pissed. I'm not pissed about the speeding ticket though. I'm pissed because it's going to take my time and the time to deal with that, at least at that moment, and impact my schedule. I got lawyers that'll handle that on the side. I'm just giving you a rundown of a very basic example. So if you can put a value and a dollar value on time, you will treat it accordingly and it will be better for you. So time should be included in the financial pressure, right? You need to make sure that your business is going, it's flowing, products are being sold, teams are coordinating effectively, cash flow issues. Are there going to be any? Can you plan these out? Is there a delay on assembly line production? Is there going to be certain risks that are going to come up, right? Solutions. What are some solutions? Conservative budgeting, early revenue generation. You need to generate revenue up front. Don't think about all these fancy things and how the business looks up front. Literally get the product sold in front of a customer. You know what matters most, and ironic here, is in the info space. There's people that will make a course or a program image, not the course itself, got you there. They'll make the image and they'll pre-sell the course. They'll get people into it. It'll start on a certain date, and guess what? They actually film the course live as they're doing it. Why does this matter? Because guess what? You can pre-sell a product before it's even made. Look at Kickstarter. People are doing that all day long. They have products on Kickstarter that they're pre-selling. They're getting people to use them and or buy them first and intend to use them. And they're getting a purchase before the product's even made, and they're informing the customer, hey, it's gonna take X amount of time to make this product and ship it to you. So these are things to look at first. You don't have to use Kickstarter, you can do it on your own site. Kickstarter's better, it's more reliable, and it builds more trust with the customer because they'll facilitate the money on certain things and everything else. So look at them, that's just an example. But early revenue generation, leveraging credit, and small funding, right? You wanna leverage credit. Credit's not a bad thing. From early childhood, I remember it beat into our heads. Credit's bad, don't use cards, don't use credit, don't use this. The real estate market uses credit. High net worth individuals, they use credit. People that buy massive businesses and cars and planes and all of that, like they are using credit. There's billionaires out there that are worth $1 billion, but they're 500 million in debt because of credit. So use credit to your advantage. Don't overspend it. Don't go like sideways with it, but definitely use it to your advantage. Now, time management, I talked about this early on. Wearing all the hats, getting burned out, not understanding work-life balance. I mean, you guys are gonna be prepared for working long hours, but definitely put some time aside. Early on in my career, I said, hey, I was working a lot. My girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, she's like, look, this is insane. You need to set aside time for your family. So I said, okay, I will give you, when I can, breakfast in the morning and of course dinner at night. And I set aside some time, and it's not just the time, it's the principle of that I'm also showing that it can be done, right? So you have to set aside these times, be regimented. I like to live by do whatever I want, whenever I want, wherever I want. However, there's a caveat to that, right? You do have to have some structure and some schedule. Now, what are some solutions to time management? Prioritizing frameworks. Eisenhower matrix, the 80-20 rule, hiring help early. If you are going to be doing something 4 times or more, note that, get a system down, record a video on the process, and have somebody help you out with it. There's VAs that can help you out $5 an hour, $10 an hour. And I know because we put them in people's businesses, I use them in my businesses. I have people, I don't like calling them VAs, I like calling them my assistants or my help, but they are in other countries, some of them in Mexico, some of them around the world. We have over 400 working with us on different things. And ultimately, some of them run my entire company. And so I run my company through a WhatsApp chat. So I'm aware of everything going on through a WhatsApp chat on certain companies of mine. You can do the same. You just have to understand how to delegate and get these things done. The 80-20 rule, 80% of your problems are going to come from 20% of your customers. 20% of your customers are going to give you the most valuable sales out of the other 80%. The 80-20, and these are just examples, but the 80-20 works all over the place, right? Number 3 is going to be finding and keeping customers, right? Lifetime value of a customer. What is that? Know that early on. CAC, cost to acquire a customer. Know that early on. Keeping customers. Where are you going to find them? You can go the direct approach. There's affinity. Certain customers that like certain things are also going to like these other things with a higher affinity, more like, lower affinity, less like. However, you can come in the side door, email lists, events, certain types of content marketing. There's ways to get customers and to be in front of customers more ways than you would expect. Now, it's funny because the classic example here is the guy that's trying to sell the car or a couple of vacuums or some flowers on the street corner. Guess what? That person wants to do business, but they're limited by the traffic and the eyeballs that's coming in front of them. They put this online, they run some Craigslist posts and some ads. Right off the bat, they're getting more eyeballs than the street corner. Right? So context is important here as well. Make sure that you manage your time accordingly. That time is not being used the correct way. Sitting on the street corner trying to sell stuff all day, maybe to get 2 or 3 sales, they're not appreciative of their time, right? And they're not finding the customers the right way. What are solutions? Building a clear offer. How's your offer different than your competitors? What are you doing different? What more can you offer than your competitors so that your price is substantiated and you build your price up? Delivering value, using systems and using different things and using market analysis, right? That's how you do this. Marketing the correct way and using market analysis and research. Now, legal and regulatory compliance, number 4, permits, license, contracts, and taxes. We talked about all those in a couple of the previous segments before this video. So what are some solutions? Consulting professionals, using legal tools. So there's certain legal tools, like ultimately LegalZoom and everything else. I'm getting a cramp in my leg here. It's funny, right? I know it is for me too, not. So using different tools online and getting regulatory compliance. I also talked about this in earlier videos where you can use certain things like our program, which we teach you how to use consultants and people behind you to have your business better, more efficient, and grow more. We talk about that. There'll be a link in the description here as well. Again, this also goes into building the right team. You want to make sure you build the right team. Outsource, have the people behind you. I run companies and I have lawyers behind me, patent attorneys, trademark attorneys. I have contract attorneys that work with the NFL also. I have plethora of attorneys, consultants, engineers, architects, video, graphics designers. I mean, you name it and I have them. They're all part of my team. I have people that manage them and I manage them as well on certain aspects. Guess what? I'm paying per hour, sometimes per the half an hour, sometimes per 15 minutes. So there's ways to do that. We talk about that in one of our programs, Virtual Scaling Accelerator, and a couple other ones. Check out chriscrace.com. You can find those there. But building the right team, hiring too fast and hiring the wrong people and not having a culture fit. Understand this early on. Your company is going to have a culture. What is your culture? You may not know that. You may have an idea of it, but look at how Walmart runs their culture and their staff. Look at Target, different culture. Look at these different businesses. The same thing goes with small businesses. Your culture is vitally important and it starts with you. Ultimately, you set the rules. What are your expectations? What is your attitude like? What is your communication like? What's your confidence like? Keyword, confidence communication. We have programs that are just on that, to build the confidence, to build the communication, to talk better, to persuade people to do things instead of be a demeaning and demanding boss. These are things that you need to be aware of, right? So solutions, clear job descriptions, trial periods, strong onboarding. I like saying this: hire slow, fire fast. Don't mess around with people. All right. If somebody's going off the deep end, one assistance and correction or one put on notice, and that's it. First and final. I don't take number 2. The if that happens, if you have a series of people, if you do that, put somebody on a first and final, but then you go back and then you give them a second and final and third and final, that sends a message to everybody else that you'll mess around. You know, you're not going to be taken serious. But guess what? If you bring somebody in, they mess up, first and final, they mess up and they're gone, that sends a vital message to everybody that you're not playing around. So you have to understand what your actions look like to everybody else on the third person and the second person versus just through the lens of your eyes as well. And that brings us to mindset challenges number 6 here. Imposter syndrome, fear of failure, and procrastination, right? All of us have that. You're lying if you say that you don't have that. I'm telling you right now, because imposter syndrome, it exists. You know, can I really do this? What are people going to think of me? DGAF. If you know what that means, look it up, you know, if you don't. So have a little bit of that, you'll do a lot better. Fear of failure, listen, fail. First attempt in learning. That's what the acronym is for that. So the faster you fail, the faster you can course correct and be better. Embrace failure. It's going to happen. And procrastination, don't embrace that. You don't want that, all right? Don't wait till the last minute. Be proactive with things. I talk about this all the time. Be proactive, not reactive. Now, what else? Competition and market changes. If you are adaptable to change, this is going to be good. You want to make sure that you're adaptable to change because the market is fluid, your industry's fluid, your staff are fluid, even you're fluid. Your moods are going to change from when you come from home, when you're in the office all day, what time of the month it is. Not talking about girls here, I'm talking about just in general. Is it the beginning of the month? Are bills going out? Is it the end of the month? Is it the middle of the month? Did you come off a project? All of these things jog the mind, right? Your mindset is going to be huge because this is where it comes into play. These are all stacking on top of each other. Industry saturation and shifts. Could you get to a point of industry saturation? If so, where do you have to go from there? You need to start expanding. There's companies that they put in pools, right? They got to industry saturation and they said, okay, in a certain area, we are the biggest person to put in these specific type of pools. So what do we have to do now? We're gonna look at what else do we use in our business? Well, we use a lot of cement. We use a lot of transportation of that cement. Okay, maybe we buy a cement company that has the trucks already in there so it helps our business so we can operate both and we have a better system in the marketplace. These are things to look out for. What do you do with manufacturing? What are your downline and your upline and your manufacturers and your assembly line? Look at all these things to grow your business. Competition, marketing changes. These are going to change. There's going to be shifts. So stay agile, continue to innovate, and strong branding. The brand, I can't tell you that enough. Of course, I'm a marketer and I run marketing agencies, so I tell you, brand is super important. That's how all of our businesses succeeded today. In my mind, I'm building a media company and a brand with a product and service. You hear me repeat this often. I can't beat it into your heads enough, right? The brand is the most important thing. Make your business last. Now, technology overload. Ironic because we talked about this on the last segment. All these different technologies that you can use and these different softwares and services and online tools, you don't need to overload yourself. You know, they have steep learning curves with it. What do you need and stick with one? ClickUp, I like it, great, but you don't need to use ClickUp and Trello and Asana and all these things. Use one. Use one, keep it, grow with it, right? Solutions, keep it simple. Automate them and outsource tech where possible. I have my dev teams do certain things. I will tell you that you want to do everything, but it's your time and I value my time. Plus other people do it better and more efficiently. So outsource it to them, have somebody check their work. Maybe it's you, maybe it's somebody else, and it works wonders all around. Delegate, right? So on the next segment, what do we have coming up? What should I do before hiring employees? This is a good one and I'll see you there.